Well then, best laid plans and all that. I was expecting to be at that camp spot this morning for a beautiful sunrise, and unfortunately I knew it was a risk, it was a gamble when I pitched the tent there, because it was windy already, but it was a very exposed location and I gambled the wind was going to die down, and it just didn't. It just got worse. So I got a few hours sleep, maybe 2 or 3, woke up at about 2:30, and the tent was just making this really loud flapping noise just constantly in the wind. It's a great tent, but if you get it in some wind like that, it just makes a real loud noise all the time with the DCF flapping. So I was going to get up a little bit earlier today anyway to try and get to town before the post office closed, and I just thought, you know what, it's 2:30, why not just get up now and just blitz, or try and blitz this stretch to town today. So that's what I'm doing. It's 3:25 now. I'm not too sure of the time. I think it's maybe about 4:30. I seem to be climbing up again. One of the main reasons for me wanting to do this hike in the first place was the scenery and just the massive diversity of landscapes that you pass through and the things that you see on the way. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've always kind of been against night hiking, and I've only ever done it if it's been kind of like really necessary. This is the first time, excluding this trip, excluding the aqueduct, which was done to avoid the heat, and excluding Whitney, which was done with the purpose of getting to the top for sunrise. I know that a bonus of this is going to be getting to the post office, hopefully, before it shuts, and enjoying a bit of time in town. But I've never really done any amount of night hiking, and especially not kind of through a forest like this. And I am seeing a completely different side of the trail. And I'd like to say that I didn't know existed, but that's a bit silly. I did know it existed. I've just never chosen to experience it. I mean, like this morning, I've seen 2, I'm going to say frogs or toads. I don't know, I can't tell, I don't know the difference between them. I'm going to guess that one was maybe a frog because it was quite small, and one was maybe a toad because it was rather large. I've seen 2 of them sat on the trail. That's something I've not seen since Warner Springs area. And then I've just seen a hummingbird whose eyes were just reflecting back at me so brightly, and it was just flitting about. It was too fast to get on the camera, but it was flitting about, and it genuinely sounded like it wasn't making a noise at all. Most of them, as you know, they get the name from the beating of the wings and the noise it makes. This one was silent, or it seemed like it was silent anyway. And like the only noise that I've heard this morning in the forest is my footsteps, the wind, and the occasional, I'm just going to say creature, like running away in the forest. Oh, occasionally you misstep and you miss a stone that's sticking up out the floor. But to be honest, I do that a lot during the day anyway. There's also the bonus of not using as much water. As it happens, this section that I'm doing now is about a 6 mile dry section. So getting it done during the morning like this is great. I'm also wearing my windproof jacket because obviously it was blowing a gale when I left camp, but I genuinely don't need it on. I'm sweating up a storm as it is. I've got just a couple of nice photographs as well. Everything looks totally different in the dark, in the torchlight. Having to stop myself, just stopping and taking pictures all the time. The only thing that worries me is I keep shining the head torch around and expecting to see a pair of eyes glinting back at me. Oh look, there we go. Hello. That's a cool picture. Good job I didn't stand on that little fella. I was trying to zoom in, but on the low light mode on this camera, you can't zoom, unfortunately. I keep forgetting. That's what I mean. You don't see stuff like that during the day. I've walked over 1,000 miles since the last one I saw. Anyway, as I was saying, I keep shining the torch around and expecting to see a pair of eyes glinting back at me. I'm not too worried about bears. I know it sounds silly, but bears generally run away probably before you see them. It's the mountain lions that worry me. They like to stalk you, and they're an ambush predator. And I know mountain lion attacks are rare, but one person walking alone at 4:30 in the morning on the side of a mountain does just make you wonder if a mountain lion is going to fancy the chances. And just occasionally you see stuff reflecting at the side of the trail. You kind of wonder what it is. It seems, what the heck was that? It's not coming out on the camera, but it almost looks like a metal letter K on a piece of bark. Oh. Now something has just reflected up ahead of me. I'm hoping that's a tent. Well, you might get to witness something here on camera, because there's definitely something reflecting back up here. Right, well, that's just a little bit worrying. It's not a tent. Normally you'll see reflections from the guy lines and the stakes. I've usually got reflective tagging on them. There's nothing there, there's no tent there. Oh, someone's paranoid now. It was definitely an eye, at least one eye of something. And I will say that usually, I'm probably overthinking this, but usually if it's a deer, you'll hear it running away through the undergrowth. You know, like breaking twigs and stuff like that as it runs away. Mountain lions are generally a lot more stealthy. And I didn't hear a thing. I've actually got a cold shiver running down my back, and I'm not even exaggerating. Where's that sunshine? Where's that daylight? I think I'm just going to shut the camera off and maybe walk a little bit faster. I don't think you're going to be able to make it out on the camera. The camera's zoomed right in as far as it'll go, but there's a pair of eyes glinting back at me down there. Just the head's just turned round, and it's a deer. Well, I wonder if the other one was a deer as well. Let's hope so, shall we? Well, it's just turned 6 a.m. now, and I guess I should take the head torch off my head. Won't be needing that anymore. I've just checked the app and I've got 18.5 miles to go. With about 1,500 feet climb and about 5,000 feet down. Well, I think the lack of sleep over the past few nights and the increased mileage I've been doing is just starting to take its toll. I just feel really flat and drained. I didn't feel too bad leaving camp this morning. I think that was the huge cup of coffee that I had before I left. That does seem to have worn off now, unfortunately. I've just had a Cliff Bar that's got some caffeine in it. They don't taste all that nice, but gives you a bit of energy and a little caffeine boost. Just got to make it to town. I've had some spotty cell service today, and I've just noticed a super thanks come through from Penmith on YouTube. That is really nice of you. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. Tahoe was a pretty expensive stop for me, all things considered. So yeah, it's really nice of you. Thank you so much. Oh, got a little window there, look. Now if we're in Utah, that would have a name like Peepo Arch or something like that, and there'd be loads of signs up and there'd be about 15 different hikes to it. Because I think if no one realises, Utah's got a lot of these sandstone arches in different places, and they've all got names, and they've all got loads of signs around them, and they've all got loads of trails going to them. It's quite funny. Some of them are a real disappointment. Some of them are really, really dramatic and breathtaking. But yeah, I'm going to call that one Peepo Arch. I just looked at the app a little while ago as well, and there is a heck of a lot of down from here on out. It's mostly all down. So my knees are just starting to knock together a little bit. I think there's probably going to be quite a few rest stops today, because it's, like I say, I'm just feeling totally drained. I think the last few days are catching up with me. Maybe it's good that I've got a hotel room booked for tonight. All right, well, it is 8:40 a.m. Oh, that's quite cool, isn't it? Especially the way the sunlight's catching whatever they are. I'm not going to call them petals because they're not petals. Yes, where was I? It's 8:40 a.m. I've just stopped. There was like a multitude of small streams. Stopped at one of them to top my water up. I've not been using a great deal at all this morning so far, just because it's been so cool to start with, and then been in the forest for a while now as well. It's been a huge, great downhill section, and I think this might just be the start of a little up, well, saying little, of an uphill section. Check the app at the water source back there. Got 11.2 miles left to go. So, what did I say it was? 26. So I've done 15 miles basically this morning, and it's 20 to 9. That's crazy. Well, I've had a very nice little break here at this creek. There's like a nice little camping area there, space for a few tents, a fire pit, some things to sit on. I got some nice, fresh, cold water out of the creek. Had a packet of blueberry flavoured almonds, and I had an Aloha bar, which I've not had before. It was brand new to me. Apparently it's like a natural protein bar, like coconut and a couple of other things in it. Almonds, I think, and chocolate. It was very nice, actually. A lot nicer than I anticipated. So 11 a.m, 4.7 miles to go. I'm still awake. There's just been a huge descent. Basically just like a ton of switchbacks coming down the mountainside, and just near the top there was a girl in front of me, and she was moving quite quick. She stopped on one of the corners of the switchbacks, maybe about 3/4 of the way down. She stopped to let me past. I got past, and I'm not even joking, I wasn't hanging around coming down there. I mean, I wasn't going at my normal hiking speed, I was going faster, basically, and she was keeping up with me all the way down. She was seriously fast. I just couldn't shake her at all. It was crazy. I've not seen anybody, I don't think, that fast so far on the trip. Purple, maybe. The guy I hiked a little bit with in Yosemite area. But can't think of anyone else. And the thing was as well, I could understand it if she was like, 6 foot, 6'3", long legs. No, she was tiny. So, good on her. She obviously wants to get to town. Possibly the same thing as me, wanting to get to town before the post office closes. But the fact that it's 11 o'clock now, and I've only got 4.7 miles left to go, I'm no longer worried about that. I'll get there easily before 2 o'clock. I mean, there's always the hitch situation, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be quite an easy hitch into town. You could probably even walk it in that time as well. I don't think it's far off, all that far off the trail. Oh man. So a couple of smallish uphills to go, and still quite a bit of down. I've got about 2.5 miles to go to town. It's a very nice bridge. One of the most stable ones I've crossed recently, I would say. Two and a half miles. There's actually two ways to get into Sierra City. You can do what I'm doing and hitch from the road. Like I say, that's roughly 2.5 miles from here. Or there's a trail that you can just walk in on. I don't know exactly the length of that, but it looks on the app as though it's longer than 2.5 miles. Looks like it could be something like 4. So, given the state that I'm in, I'm taking the easier option. Sorry. Oh, it's a huge, great valley. So, the climb when you come out of this is going to be absolutely brutal in this heat, especially fully loaded with a resupply as well. I am not looking forward to that. I don't actually know how steep it is. I just know that it's extremely long. Well, it's actually 12:25 now, so I'm not really cutting it close, but definitely not as early as I was thinking it was going to be. I was thinking I was going to get here for like 12ish, something like that. I don't know how far that, I don't think the road's very far away. There's these waterfalls I've just been videoing. There's a few people just walking down to them from the top here. There must be a little parking lot and trailhead up here somewhere. I can hear the traffic from the road as well, so we're not too far. Wow. Today has been pretty grueling, to be honest with you. Just found it really difficult. These last 3 miles, the last 3 miles have been, it seemed like 10. No joke. But that's it now. Just got to stick the thumb out, hope for a ride, and then hope the post office isn't closed because of some sort of crazy happening or going on.